Guys, welcome back to some Gilded Guardians. In today's video, we're going to be stockpiling some resources, but we also did want to look at JD's skill adjustment. So a lot of players were really upset that we didn't have the ability or the methodology behind how this hero works, because the ultimate ability would go on the frontmost hero. Now, if there was only one hero, of course, they would receive a majority of the healing from the ultimate ability that JD had. So it is kind of a change. Listening to feedback and reviewing her performance after a full house, they have made changes. Now, of course, all things grow. This is the ultimate ability, created a flower, which would go again under the most forward positioned ally. That was the pain. That was where, again, you might only have one hero. Your entire backline might be getting wrecked, and there was no way to heal them. Now it is creating a flower centered around the ally with the lowest HP. That removes the curse debuff and restores HP equal to 110% of JD's attack, which of course is going to be very important to buff up that attack rating every second to all allies within it, lasting 6 seconds. Okay, that is a major improvement. If, again, thinking of the team that I run, if I have 4 heroes that are kind of clumped together, and then I have one hero that is off by themselves, which of course is usually Karuk, that is going and doing the tanking. I don't want it always to go on him because, of course, I want to make sure that backline is healed and that backline is protected. We've heard the feedback. Again, the ultimate targeting the frontmost. Didn't like it at all. They made the adjustment, just like they have always done with this game. Now, of course, the pollen ability targets the lowest HP. So both of these are healing effects. Restores HP equal to 90% of JD's attack every second. Removing poison effect. Well, look at what they buffed to this. This is kind of crazy. 90% of the attack every second, while also increasing the attack speed by 20% and removing poison. So now she gets a buff for the attack speed, which if you look at some of the very strong heroes, this is going to be huge. And there's actually a good way that you can do this when you look at some of the frontmost heroes. Again, thinking of Karuk from my experience, if they're on the front line, you're going to get a big attack speed boost, meaning that the hero can actually burn through a ton of other heroes. We appreciate hearing the thoughts and feedback. Absolutely something that they do take in account. Now let's talk about our crafting for a minute. This is a point that we have been crafting a lot of things. We've been going through, we've been making a lot of gear. Now there's also been notes, if you checked out the town hall, tier 7 is coming. So with tier 7, we don't know exactly what that's going to bring, but at this point, crafting and saving up resources is going to be an absolute fundamental. Even looking in here, you can see that we're crafting some of our strength gear, using it on a regular, getting our strength gear. And honestly, it might behoove you to even build some of maybe the craft gear up in here, because the anticipation is right here. As you can see, we have these rank 6 or these wilderness ores right here, which are 6. Then, of course, we have some metal, which is the ingots, which, of course, are level 6. When the patch drops, when the update, a lot of players are saying the 6s are going to go to 7. Now, of course, the ingots are a lot easier to get. The crystals are not. The crystals, in a majority, if you're getting them in any sort of bulk, really ability, they are coming from these material chests. So with the release of Act 2, we are going to see a lot more content in the adventure mode, which I'm pretty sure is going to come with some probably small material chests plus the chest level 3, maybe level 4, depending on where you are. This is going to be something that is going to be coming in the future to be able to get these much higher level chests, which of course tier 7 gear traditionally is going to replace tier 6, just like tier 6 replaced tier 5, so on and so forth. So again, the question that we had with this is, when it comes to the higher tier gear, are we going to have the ability to just do the 6 to 7? And is the tier 7 gear similar to what we see right here, which this is a tier 6 gear, but this is only level 1? Are they going to have this tier 7 gear again as level 1, 2, 3? Could it have a 4 and 5? How far and how hard are they really going to tier this? So at this point, saving all of these chests. Now, of course, continuing to craft through the regular methodology that we have, I would highly advise going through the crafting. Again, using all of your rubies in here to purchase this. You can see we do this every day because, of course, when it comes to content, when it comes to a new release, even if we go to crafting in that tier 7 crafting, chances are it's going to take you a long time to get tier 7 gear, meaning that you're going to stretch out that timeline a little bit further. It's going to be a little bit more difficult and a little more rare to pick up that gear. But overall, when you start looking at it big picture, You're not going to be replacing, 5, 6, 7 gear sets that you've been building 4 months at this point, the second that you get tier 7 gear, and thinking and kind of prioritizing. I'm going to go in, and of course, when tier 7 gear drops, it is going to be right on Leah. I'm going to start with intelligence. I'm going to start building that up, and I might actually switch to intelligence right now, because some of these, again, tier 6 is going to tier 7s. We could see a much higher stat boost. We could also see a much higher kind of scaling when it comes to the attack. And you'll also notice, though, even here we have level 7 or enlightenment 7 on this gear, and then we have 6, 6, and 6 right there. It is still super, super expensive. So again, thinking of the conversion with tier 6 gear, moving on to tier 7 gear. Tier 7 gear expectation is exponentially more expensive, meaning that if you're moving into the tier 7 gear to go ahead and enlighten the gear or enhance the gear, it is going to be even more expensive than we're traditionally seeing right now, which again could make a very, very big difference. Now, looking at enlightenment, we do have Tirok in here. We also do have Grizel, and then we are kind of building up Cyrus. Cyrus, we are waiting to build out some more of these Imperial Souls, and we've been going through and really just farming all of the heroes that we get out of here. And then, of course, these are going right to the sacrifice. We are recycling all of these heroes time and time and time again, because knowing what is coming down the pipeline, even when it comes to summons, I am saving my rubies right now. I am saving all of my summoning stones, again, just to see what comes. Also here, I am saving all my calling stones, again, waiting to see exactly what's coming. As much as I would like to use JD, I'm getting one copy of a legendary hero, not really going to do a ton, especially when your heroes are much higher. If you haven't built up, if you're really focusing on the development and also getting their enlightenment and their radiance up, it's going to take an incredible amount of time to build these heroes up. And I really don't think 32 stones, because if I go in and I use 32 stones in here and I don't get anything out of it, this is going to be a lost cause. From my understanding, it's not going to carry over to the next hero, which of course we've seen a couple that could be coming down the pipeline. And we can take a quick look at those, because again, speculation is when it comes to some of these Gen 1 heroes, when it comes to coming up with some of these heroes really in the Guardian decks, Tianlong could be one that we could see in there. And again, that was kind of speculation from the heroes themselves, that this is absolutely one hero that we could see being a Generation 1. And I know a lot of players also have talked about Selvi, which unfortunately I do not have a copy of, but down here just a little bit further, we do have a few other copies like Selv that we could be seeing in the future with releases. So saving up those very specific calling crystals or those calling stones, because they are exponentially expensive. And of course, if you notice in the boss rush, this is probably one of the biggest changes and one of the absolute biggest things that I love, hands down. Daily mission, boom, look at this. You're talking 380 Exp Scrolls. This is a game changer by far. One of the biggest adjustments that we've seen. Before, they always just gave our rush coins in here. You didn't have the ability to get all of these, and you can see that we've claimed all these. This is so much experience. I've actually gotten to the point where I've actually capped out a few heroes. My heroes were on 10, 20. Now they're 160 plus. So again, exponentially getting the scrolls out of there. Then of course, picking them up in a bunch of different places. You have to be getting them, and you have to be getting them all of the time. So in here, Endless Store, this is another place for the items. Getting these scrolls, getting them every single opportunity you have. The experience in this game really does make a massive difference. Waiting for Gruff's store to come out, you can see we have 60,000 coins. We do not have JD, we do not have Callisto. Gonna have to see exactly what it looks like, but I believe in 4 more days they're gonna be leaving the shop, going to be leaving Erie's store, which means you're not gonna have the ability to actually pick them up. And of course, in 4 more days, JD is gonna be gone from the limited time trial. Make sure you're doing this. Again, it's free rewards. There's no reason not to do it. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.